Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? It is me again, Russell Mills. It is May 24th, 2025. I want to say hello. Hope everybody's blessed. I haven't made a live video. I haven't made one of these videos in a long time. Um, Reason why I feel like making videos because this past week, I make this a short video today. I'm not going to go long. This past week, one of my former employers called me from the gas station. I used to work for Alltown gas station in Billerica, Massachusetts. Her name was Martina, white woman, lesbian woman. She calls me because I applied for some jobs online for Alltown because I left there in April of 2025, trying to looking around for another job and so forth. So I applied because I was trying to get some, let's say, part time work, see what's out there, see just trying to get some money. So she called me this past week and said, "Hi, is Russell there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, who's this?" She's like, "Oh, it's Martina." I was like, "Hey, long time no hear. What's going on?" Oh yeah, I heard that you was applying. I saw that you was applying for other all towns, and stuff. And I said, yeah, I was, just trying to look for some extra money, see what's going on, whatever. She says, I just want to let you know I'm the district of all of Massachusetts. So, and I told those jobs that um, I didn't want you working for them, for them. And I said, huh? I was like, why would you do that? Oh, because your behavior, from what she said. And I was like, okay. I was like, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by my behavior? And she was like, oh, I can't get into all that. I was like, then why'd you say it then? You know what I mean? Like I asked you a question, you couldn't even give me a complete answer. I can't get into all that. So it just goes to show you that and here's the key thing. She says to me, oh yeah, if you wanted to go back to Bill Ricker, and talk to Frank and see if and see if he'd hire you again, you could go back there. So I'm saying I could go back to possibly Bill Ricker, All Town, but I can't work for any of the All Town Freshers or any of the other stuff. And I'm saying, um, you know, when it comes to that store, busy store, I like the store. I didn't even really want to quit that job. But here's the problem: when you got lazy employees, you got lazy managers like Frank, Becky, deli manager over there that don't want to, you know what I mean? That's lazy. You got people that talking behind my back, cowards. So it just goes to show you. So I'm saying to myself, I couldn't work for any of the all towns or all town freshers that I applied for. But if I wanted to quote unquote maybe come back, if Frank allowed me to. So I mean, I have to beg him. Oh, Frank, can you help me out? Frank. To me, he's a horrible manager. Um, Martina, you're a horrible district manager. And reason why I said this because again, you know what I'm saying. You didn't do that to the white boys. You didn't do that to Chuck when he walked out when he gave you guys a 2 days notice, and he got and he went to Dunkin' Donuts, and then he walked out on them, and now he's working right back at All Town again in the deli area again. Yeah, you must have talked. Yeah, you probably talked to him, did whatever, but think about that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't blackball him from any other All Towns, did you? He don't drive, but it doesn't matter. So it just goes to show you, man. Like I say, I know why they do it because because they know because at the end of the day, they think black people are stupid. They think I'm stupid. So they think I'm so desperate. It's like yes, I wanted to quit if people were not so damn lazy and have to this one guy that works named Jacob lazy and he's always on his phone. It's like And that's all you expect to do. Be on your phone and be on the cash register. Don't move except for going to the bathroom or getting something to eat. Okay. So again, like I said, there's a lot of lazy people in the world, bro. And it's like this, you know, just like acting like little kids and being immature, and I don't understand that, and this favoritism and this little, oh, I don't, it's none of my business, I don't want to, you know what I mean. And I told Martina when I was on the phone call, I said, look, I busted my ass, and that's a year and 10 months. Okay, and that's not a long time at a job, but it doesn't matter. Just the fact that I busted my ass, you know what I mean. I even bought cleaners sometimes for the store, just to, you know what I mean, just so, because when we ran out of cleaner, I went out with my own money that I paid for and bought cleaner. I didn't have to, but I was thinking about the store. And everyone's so nonchalant and like, oh, I don't want to rock the boat all the time. Everybody always doesn't want to rock the boat. You know what happened in society, bro? Like I said, I'm not gonna change the world with this video, any of my damn videos. But we have to change our own world. We gotta get ourselves inspired, and we gotta look to God. But a lot of us don't want to do that, so we're too busy, just want to look to the devil. Okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? Look to Satan. When he destroys you, your soul, when you die, you know what I'm saying? That's where you're gonna rest, for eternity in flames. So again, for those people that don't want to listen, don't want to talk, can't do, whatever simple stuff. Okay, cool. So that's why, today when I went down, I just wanted to visit Alltown, and I did just for a little bit. And I say this, I talked to this guy, Melody, that thinks he's a woman, that people have to call him a she, which is bullshit. I don't know how you could live with yourself as a man thinking that you know what I mean, and you're a man, with man body parts, and didn't change anything much, and you're probably still in the girls. And I'm saying, how is this right? And again, I don't hate Melody, whatever issue, whatever demons he has in him, or whatever. But I was talking to him today, and I was saying, like, look, I told him what happened, whether he knew or not. But that's on him. But the fact is, I talked to him about it, and I said, look, I don't understand why Martina would blackball me, but whatever, man. Like I said, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? People are gonna be ignorant. People don't want to listen. They want to pamper everyone. Whatever, man. But just look what our world. I'll just say this: look what our world's becoming when everybody's being pampered. Everyone's, you know what I mean. Everyone's being so nervous or scared all the time. Just think about that. Okay, so that's all I gotta really say. It's just like, it's just disgusting. You blackball me. Talked to my mother about it, and I talked to my girlfriend about it. And I talked to a couple other people, and they were like, that's kind of fucked up. I was like, yeah, it is, because you know what? Because I guarantee they're not doing that to the white boy. They're doing that to the nigga because they know that we ain't gonna fight back all the time. That's why I just say this last thing. That's why they could That's why they beat us up as black people. That's why all the racists look at us like we're a joke. Because if you see people, that look like me, that never take a stand, only want to take a stand against your own people, but nobody else against a stand about any other type of people. And when I mean take a stand, I'm not talking about fighting people in the street. I'm talking about whether you call human resources, get a lawyer, get whatever. And I'm not saying some of us don't do that, because some of us obviously have clearly done that. But are we doing that enough? And I say this. My former boss, Frank, he thinks he's a freaking damn mob boss sometimes because he's Italian, white man. It's like, I tell you, I remember he said to this woman, Jamie, that works in the deli, with Chuck, oh, yeah, this is a white store. Get over it, from what I heard. And I said, really? I would have loved for his punk ass to say that shit to me and say it's a white store to a black man. I would have got a lawyer, and I would have called human resources on his ass. See, Jamie, she ain't going to do that because, again, the white woman knows her place with the white man. So That's why white folks are, oh, I'm not going to rock the boat because I need money, because that's all they give a shit about is money. Okay? That's what the whole world gives a shit about. So whatever, man. Like I said, it's like, even for them to say that, even if Martinez said, oh, yeah, if you wanted to try to talk to Frank and try to see if you can get, your job back or something, if he was interested, it's like, and go back to just Bill Ricker, and I couldn't go back to any other ones. I couldn't go to any other ones, and you blocked me from all the other stores in Massachusetts because you're the district of the state. Okay. Like I said, there's a God out there. And I'm going to tell you something, Martine. You're going to get yours for you blocking me. Okay. If anyone else that wants to block me, as far as, try to mess with me mentally. But I'm going to say this. Feel free to check out my YouTube channel. Type in my name. It's Russell Mills, RUSSELL MILLS, May 22nd, 2017. My first video was called Why Black People Settle for Less. Everybody take care. Have a good night, good day, good week. Peace.